So as per question number 5, it is saying that on a 60-meter stretch of road, a cyclist travels first 20 kilometer at a uniform speed of 20 kilometer per hour. How fast must he travel the remaining distance so that his average speed is 10 kilometer per hour for the entire trip? Well, so starting the discussion of question number 5, okay, we are discussing based on an assignment of motion in a straight line, okay, homework. So we are clearing the doubts. So it is a 60 meter, let AB is equal to 60 kilometer. So first 20 kilometer has been travelled at a speed of 20 kilometer per hour. So let this is the point P, this much is given as 20 kilometer, and during this part the speed V1 was 20 kilometer per hour, right? This is given in first case. Now second saying that how fast must he travel the remaining distance. Okay, so rest 40 kilometer is concerned that he can travel with a different speed such that overall journey average speed can be 10 kilometer per hour. Okay, so rest 40 kilometer, this is the rest part of the journey, 40 kilometer. We do not know what is the speed in this part, let this is V2, okay, but it is true that it is continued with a constant velocity. For A to B average speed, for A to B average speed is 10 kilometer per hour. That means with the average speed to make 10 kilometer per hour as an average speed, that average speed should be equal to total distance by total time taken. Got my point? To consider the average speed as 10 kilometer per hour, this calculation will come from total distance by total time. So total distance we know average speed is 10 kilometer per hour, total distance is 60 kilometer divided by time t. So from this if we calculate the total time, then it will be 60 by 10, so it will be 6 hours journey. So it will be a 6 hours journey such that so as the average speed is given 10 kilometer per hour, so total journey is of 60 kilometers. So we do not know how long it should be taken, what should be the time of journey, so that average speed can be countable as 10 kilometer per hour. So that's why average speed formula that can be written total distance by total time. We know the total distance of the journey, that is 60 kilometer, and the time is how much? We do not know. So from there onwards I have calculated it as 6 hours. Got it now? So the journey, overall journey, which is actually taking place in two different disciplines. The first 20 kilometer at a speed of 20 kilometer per hour. So therefore, for the first part, that is A to P, we can find the time taken T1, that is T from A to P, that can be calculated by dividing the displacement with the velocity with which it has been travelled. So it has traveled 20 kilometer with the speed of 20 kilometer per hour. It was 20 kilometer and the speed was 20 kilometer per hour. So that means it was 1 hour. So the cyclist took 1 hour to travel through 20 kilometer, right? And to make the overall motion to have average speed of 10 kilometer per hour, the suggested time of journey says that it is 6 hours. Okay, the suggested time of journey is 6 hours. So to complete the overall journey 6 hours, if time of AP is 1 hour, therefore T2, that is time for PB, time for P to B, that must be equal to 5 hours, yes or no? If to establish the average speed of the journey to make it 10 kilometer per hour, if the time takes 6 hours, out of which during the first 1 hour, the cyclist only took 1 hour to travel 20 kilometer. So out of 60 kilometer, rest 40 kilometer can be travelled, and that he can do in 5 hours. So therefore speed to be maintained to travel through 40 kilometer from P to B, it will be 40 kilometer distance in time. Available time is how much? 5 hours. He is getting 5 hours time to travel through 40 kilometer distance, because total journey time we are getting it as 6 hours. So here it will be 8 kilometer per hour. It will be 8 kilometer per hour. Is it okay? Question number 6, that a car starting from rest and moving along straight path, with uniform acceleration covers a distance P and Q in first two successive equal intervals of time. Fine. So a car starting from rest. So initial velocity of the motion is said to be 0, right? Acceleration is given uniform, but what the value is, that is not given. It says it covers distance P and Q. P is some distance, Q is another distance. They are not equal. That's why they are denoted. They have been denoted by two different terms. But these are the two successive equal intervals. These two distances are covered in two successive equal intervals. So this is question number 6. Question number 6 says about, this is a point A, this is point B, let this is point C. So if this distance is P, this is Q, okay. Let this is t equal to 0, this is the instant t1 is equal to t second. So that interval is t, and at this instant it is 2t second. Why it is 2t second? Because interval, that means if TAB is concerned, that is a journey of t seconds, and you can see TBC, that is also a journey of t second, right? So these are the two equal intervals. Time taken to travel from A to B is equal to that from B to C. Are you getting it? Initial velocity is said at this point is 0. While crossing this point, we do not know the velocity value V1. At this instant, we do not know. Even when it is crossing this point, then there also the velocity, we don't know about the velocities, right? But here it is true that particle is moving under constant acceleration, that remains same throughout the motion. Are you getting it? So what are the information given? Initial velocity at A, that is 0. Another information saying that acceleration is constant throughout, right? Acceleration is constant throughout. Clear? So therefore the displacement AB is concerned, which has been denoted by the term P. So this displacement can be written ut plus half at square formula. I can write down ut plus half at square because at A u is 0, so further I can write down P is equal to this part is 0 plus half into A into t square, because time of journey from A to B, are you getting it or not? Time of journey from A to B, that is of t second, right? Time of journey from A to B, it is of t second, so that's why we can write down P is equal to half at square. Got it? And what we have to find? We have to find the value of P and Q. So, but already P and Q are given. P and Q are the given terms. Then, okay, we can write down in terms of T. So, P can be written, that means simplifying this, I can write down P is equal to half at square, right? And again, for BC I don't know the initial velocity. For BC, B being the starting point, for BC, B is the starting point, okay. Since B is the starting point, then at B the initial velocity will be taken v1, that time of journey from B to C, that is again t, plus half into A into t square. Velocity value at B is v1, I have assumed. I do not know the value of v1 at B, okay. I do not know the value of v1 at B, but if I want to write down the displacement relation, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you have missed, you please go to the video once the class gets completed and it gets uploaded, okay. Because once I can again, if I go back, then again the entire process will get destructed, okay. Yeah. So it was a technical error. There was nothing from my side to do. That's why I told you that there may be some technical error from the device end or whatever it is, okay. So you can reconnect. It happens sometimes. So try to follow this, as because you can see you go through the question number 6. We are discussing the question number 6, right? So in BC, B being the starting point and C the finishing point, this distance of separation is Q. So Q can be written as v1 into t plus half at square. But the problem is I do not know the velocity of v1. What I can do, getting the value of v1, then putting it over here, I can try. So if I do that, then what will be the expression? Q will be equal to v1t plus half at square. Separately, to get the value of v1, can I write down it is 0 plus at, because v1 was the value at the instant of t second. The position wise I am marking it as b, right? Position wise I am marking the v1 is at b. So that velocity appears on the moving particle under acceleration after travelling through a time of t second. So using v is equal to u plus at between a and b, this formula can be obtained between a and b. So v1 can be written 0 plus at. So I can replace the value of v1 as at in this, then it will be at into t because V1 is itself only 80, that into t plus half 80 square. So how much it becomes? It becomes 80 square plus half 80 square. So altogether it is 3 by 2 80 square. Got it? Got this one? So P was just equal to half 80 square, Q is coming 3 by 2 80 square. If we want to establish the relation between P and Q, so P was 80 square by 2 and Q we got 3 by 280 square. Got my point? So that means this can be written 3P. So ultimately Q is equal to 3 times P. This is the relation. Though I have written there find the value of P and Q, but actually it should have been find the relation between P and Q, because P and Q terms are already given in the question. So what to find? So we were supposed to find the relation. So P we got 80 square by 2, Q is coming 3 by 2 80 square, that means thrice of 80 square, so that's why 3P. What is the next question? Tell me which was the next question in doubt? Which was the next question in doubt? As per question number 9, a bus starts moving with uniform acceleration from its position of rest. It moves 48 meter in 4 seconds. On applying brakes, it stops after covering 24 meter. Okay, find the deceleration of the bus. So next is question number 9, saying that let this is BA, a bus starts from rest. Okay, so primarily it is under uniform acceleration, it travels starting from rest, moves 48 meter in 4 seconds. So let it travels through 48 meter, okay, in 4 seconds. That means this instant is 4 seconds, provided this T1 is 0. So let this is be T2, 4 seconds, okay. Starting instant was 0, and this happens to be an accelerated motion, so we do not know that acceleration. So hence we do not know the velocity also at this instant. Let it be V. So for A to B we can write down S is equal to 48, the displacement travelled is 48 and time of journey is 4 seconds from T1 to T2. So therefore we can write down 48 is equal to half acceleration into square of time, because initial velocity was 0. So we are using S is equal to ut plus half at square formula. What we are using? We are using S is equal to ut plus half at square formula. So that means this is 16a by 2. So we can write down this is 8a. So from this part a is equal to 48 by 8. So it is 6 meter per second square. So the acceleration value with which particle travelled for 4 seconds, travelling 48 meter, starting it from rest. So that permissible acceleration we are getting it as 6 meter per second square. So question arises, when particle is moving with this acceleration for the first 4 seconds, what will be the velocity? What will be the velocity at the end of 4 seconds? So therefore, velocity at B, that can be written u plus at. Since A to B it was under accelerated motion. A to B it was under accelerated motion. So that's why velocity at B can be calculated using V is equal to u plus at format. So u was 0, acceleration we have got 6 and the time is 4. So that means this is 24 meter per second will be the velocity achieved by the particle at the end of 4 seconds. Got my point? Now, after getting this much information at B, at this instant onwards, now brakes are applied. After traveling through 48 meter, now brakes are applied on the vehicle such that it stops after covering 24 meter. So, from the point, that means when you are applying brakes on a moving vehicle, then it retards, means it decreases the speed. That means actually you are offering a force in the direction opposite to the motion. So, here also it is the same thing. If the body is moving B to C, that is rightward, force is applied, brakes is doing the role of applying force. It is because of force. So, as a result of when brakes are applied, speed decreases. So, that is why from B to C due to brakes, we can write down due to brake, speed decreases. From, we have now come to know about the speed which was at B, that is 24, speed decreases from 24 meter per second to 0. Finally, it reaches to 0 velocity once it reaches to C, because it comes to rest. It is saying that it stops after traveling 24 meter. So, therefore, our question is, what will be the retardation? So, between B and C, I know the initial velocity at B, I know the final velocity at C, right? I know the separation from B to C, only I need to know the retardation. So, apply V square equal to U square minus 2AS formula. Okay. Now, we need to apply this formula, because this is the formula that helps us to relate initial and final velocity of a journey along with the displacement between the 2 points and the acceleration or retardation involved in it. So, it is going through retardation from B to C, that is why I have taken minus sign. Had it been it is acceleration, then I could have taken plus sign. So, final velocity, that is V dash, and instead of U I can write down V. So, final is 0, initial is 24 square minus 2 into A dash into displacement is also 24, right. So, therefore, we can write down A dash is equal to 24 into 24 divided by 2 into 24. So, it is a calculation relating to 12 meter per second square. Got it? So, yes, due to brakes, the retardation value that was applicable on the vehicle during its motion from B to C, traveling through 24 meter, where it finally comes to rest, the retardation value we are getting it as how much? 12 meter per second square. Is that okay?